It is currently 1:36 a.m. on New Year's Day, 2025. Happy New Year's. And we are here to talk about New Year's resolutions. Usually they are self-improvement or like working out. Mine was doing a backflip. Yeah, it's like a childhood dream. I'm sure it's like for a lot of you guys as well, a childhood dream. And it's just like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. New year, new me. This is bettering myself in some sort of way. Yeah, it turned out kind of weird, but it's part of the story. I don't. Yeah, but this is the story of how it went. Yeah, you'll see later, but I guess I'll show you the progression how we started. So really, all this whole thing started on November something. We were at Brianna's trampoline, and I did a backflip on a trampoline, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I would like to do a backflip. Yeah, and this was November of like 2023. So I was like, you know what? Next year, 2024, I'm gonna do a fucking backflip. You know what? That's my goal. That's my goal. And I committed to it. But I needed to find some sort of progression through it, because obviously this is like, alright, maybe I don't fucking know. It's a backflip. You stand here and you swing your arms up and you jump at the same time, and then you kind of tuck your knees so you can flip over like that. Yeah, so I wanted to get used to that motion, because obviously one of the biggest factors is just fear in general. Like, if you don't jump the right amount, you're gonna fall. If you try to bail out midway through, you're gonna fall. Yeah, if you don't tuck your knees, you're gonna fall. Things like that, you know? So I was just trying to get used to it. So that fear of falling backwards is a really big thing for everyone. Very big thing for me. I don't like falling backwards. Maybe you do. So I actually used to do capoeira, which is like a Brazilian martial arts shit. And I could do these things called macacos. At least I think they're called. God, I hope so. I really don't know any of the technical terms for the things. But you're like on your knees like Spider-Man, and you throw one arm back and you kind of throw your body up. So I could always do those. That was a good start. But the only thing was that it kind of like made me I would turn to the right side too much, because I was so used to turning to the right side, and it kind of fucked up the next step, which I was like, oh, I can do a cartwheel. Let me do a cartwheel into a back handspring. Just like I hope these are the right words. Oh god, I really hope so. If there's like gymnasts, you're like, so yeah, do a back handspring. From there, it started out kind of bad, but eventually we did end up getting a very good one. Besides the cringy, oh god,
you ate that shit up.
But we did get a good back handspring. It took some time to stop leaning to the side, and I still lean to the side, to be honest, but it is possible to do it without leaning to the side. So after that, I wanted to just do a back handspring without a cartwheel, because obviously with the cartwheel you have the momentum kind of throwing you backwards, but with a back handspring you're actually trusting yourself to go backwards, catch yourself on your hands. That's why it's a back handspring. Like, that's why I didn't go straight to it. Like, it's kind of like baby steps. So yeah, I did end up doing some of those. I'm not a big fan of those, to be honest. I think those are harder than actual backflips. But the next step was backflipping. But you know what was so funny? I like to practice on trampolines. Very soft, very cushiony. Brianna got ready for trampoline. So that trampoline at the beginning, that's just gone. And any safe place to try to backflip, it's gone. I could have gone to like off the wall or like extreme or something like that, but I didn't do that. So, oopsies. So I ended up having like a a drought for a couple months where I just didn't practice at all. That was definitely, not even probably, that was a very big mistake. You should constantly like work towards your goals. You shouldn't just give up midway and come back. It's obviously like, yeah, you get rusty. So then eventually we came back pretty strong. That was a joke. It was pretty bad. But I had to just slowly relearn the things, and I was like, crap. But before I knew it, it was already December again, and I was like, oh, I'm like not on track to finish this in time if I don't actually like lock in and start backflipping. So that's what I did. Went to the beach, and I was like, the sand is pretty soft, sand is pretty cushiony, basically a trampoline. Tonight's the night, just like Dexter. And I'm gonna backflip today. And I did it. Not very well. Kind of like a superhero, like Spider-Man landing. That's what we call it. Anyways though, so we got the basic backflip, or backflip with a bad landing, and I was like, oh my gosh, we actually got this 2 weeks before New Year's. Might as well, like I might be crazy. My biggest mistake, I did not practice any day leading up to New Year's. I walk in, it's New Year's Eve. I'm just like, yeah, 11:59:59. I'm gonna do a backflip. I'm gonna land. It's gonna be 12 o'clock. I'm gonna land. It's gonna be 2025. Yeah, I'll just, spoiler warning. Yeah, it didn't go that way. It did not go that way. So, luckily, I went down at 11:30 to the grass to go practice a little bit, because I was like, actually, I do need some practice. I haven't done this in a little while. And, I was scared. I was like really scared. Like my legs were low-key shaking. I like couldn't get a good back handspring, which was like the second step. I was literally back at the second step, and I had 30 minutes to go, and I was like, I might have done goofed. I screwed up. And yeah, so then I eventually ended up working up the nerve. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it. I go for it. I try to bail mid thing, and that's like the biggest backflipping mistake. Once you jump off the ground, you're done. You're in the air. You can't stop it. The biggest struggle is not the flipping, it's the jumping. All of that, once you get out the air, that's all just momentum. That's just your jumping. And what's that science dude called? Albert Einstein? No. Whichever one was the physicist. The biggest problem with backflipping, it's the jump. It's you have to commit to it. As soon as you try to bail midway through, you're done. You're done, because you don't have the momentum. You're canceling out. Imagine you're mid fucking air, you're upside down, and you cancel it, and it's just like, oh, return to the ground type shit. No, it doesn't work that way. And that's what happened. And I was like actually destroyed. I was like, there's no way I actually screwed up this bad. Like, my New Year's resolution, I'm not finishing it. It's over. It's basically what it's like going through my head. And I'm at a loss for words. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do this next year. I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow. Like, this ruins my whole plan. Like, oh my god, like, I'm so disappointed in myself. Like, this was literally what I've been working towards all year. Maybe not consistently, but like in my head, I've been working towards this all year. And I'm just like, I genuinely didn't do good enough. All because I'm scared. Yeah, but I'm a little pussy, you know? And I'm just like, is this really the way it ends? And I was fully about to give up. And then I just like thought about it from like another point of view. I thought about, like, I was like, wow, like, am I really willing to give up this whole year's worth? And I was like, no, like, that's not the way I want to go out. That's not how that works. and I committed to the bit, and I failed, and I failed, and I failed, and then the last one, I did not fail. I got a superhero landing. Wasn't the best. I actually really hurt my ankle too. But I actually I did get it, and obviously it wasn't perfect. Obviously, I should have done a lot more. But at the end of the day, I was low-key like proud. I was happy. I was content. I was like, obviously it wasn't perfect, but I persevered. Like, even though I was scared, even though my legs were shaking, I'm like anxious, and I'm like, wow, like I don't know what got into me, and I was just proud of myself for like actually going for it, even though I was scared, you know, like not letting fear get in the way of, you know, like a dream of mine, you know, my New Year's resolution. I did not end up flipping at exactly midnight. I ended up flipping at like 11:40 something, maybe 11:50. Went upstairs, celebrated the New Year's with my family, and told them about what happened. My ankle still hurting, but we got it at the end of the day, or at the end of the new year. But yeah, that's the story of my New Year's resolution, the backflip, and I'm expecting at least like 10 people to like send me a video of them backflipping next year for 2025. Happy New Year's.
They're definitely falling.
Oh, Jackie pose.